It's Tuesday, November 10th, and you're watching The Great Lost Rewatch.
Today we're watching the Season 1 episode, The Exodus, Part 2. We start out with the group that's gone to the Black Rock to get some dynamite to open up the hatch, which is Jack, Locke, Kate, Hurley, and Arts, just so that we're keeping track, and Danielle. But Danielle splits as soon as she gets to the Black Rock.
She hasn't survived this long by getting involved in affairs, but in actuality, she has a baby to go kidnap. Apparently, this is high school all over again, and Arst feels left out of the major clique.
Arts' life sounds a little bit pathetic, and maybe he was better off on the island. That's terrible to say.
He says that there are 40 other passengers who survived, and they're all important. Not really. I mean, at least Jacob doesn't seem to think so if he didn't come and touch you. Arst warns Jack and Locke to handle the dynamite very carefully, and...
Literally, when I was just now rewatching this episode, I ran out into the hallway during the scene, and I didn't come back until I heard the kaboom and Arts was gone.
I jump every time. I can't help it. It's scary. And because of that, you are on edge for the rest of the episode. It's so incredibly tense. It could blow up at any time. It could blow up at any time. It could blow up at any time. If I had to choose simply my favorite line, it would have to be,
"You got some Arnst on you."
Danielle is creepy, and we find out that Danielle was somehow involved with Claire while she was gone. We don't know yet how she was involved. We'll find that out later.
Rousseau attacks her and takes baby no name. Then the baby gets a name. Claire names the baby Aaron. And this is where Claire for me transforms from a neutral character into an annoying one. They took my baby! I'm going with you, okay? This is my baby and it was kidnapped and oh, Dingo ate my baby!
It was interesting kind of watching Sun talking about, is this punishment for what we have done in our past lives?
Meanwhile, our raft people, Michael lets Walt feel like he's contributing and steer the rudder, and the moment that Walt takes control of the rudder, what happens? It falls off. Demon child.
Ugh. I hate the part where Charlie finds the heroin. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hated it when I saw it the first time. I hate it now. I hate that plot line in season 2. I don't like that they kind of go back down that road. I feel like maybe Charlie kicked that habit and that they didn't really need to go back there. Immediately after the Hurley bird flies away, the black smoke goes by.
All of a sudden it makes and does the action of the monster, and we put 2 and 2 together as a viewer that the smoke is the monster. Well, Jack, Kate, and Hurley run from this thing. Locke is really excited and he goes to confront it, and it attacks behind him and he looks up at it again. Earlier in the season he looked at it, he looked into the eye of the island, and what he saw was beautiful. But I'm guessing what he's seeing there is not so beautiful.
The monster grabs Locke. Until the monster tries to take Locke down a hole. You can't see what I'm doing with my arm over here. It pulls Locke down a hole. Jack is holding him up and he tells Kate to go and grab the dynamite out of his pack, and she throws a stick down and the smoke monster comes out of another hole in the ground. I remember watching this the first time and thinking, oh my god, we're finding out what the monster is, yeah! I don't know what it is, still. I mean, I know what it looks like. I kind of know what it does, but I don't know why it does it or how it does it. Still frustrated about that. Charlie is pretty darn hardcore. He gets hit in the head with some rocks, and he totally lets Saeed, light his face on fire.
Come to the scene where Jack and Locke kind of semi-confront each other. Locke says, no, we were meant to open this hatch. We are here for a purpose. We were all brought here for a reason, and it's destiny. And Jack says, I don't believe in destiny. And Locke says, yes, you do. You just don't know it yet. It's kind of built up the fact that Jack and Locke are 2 sides of the same coin. Man of science and the man of faith. While they conflict in values, they need each other. Saeed and Charlie get to the source of the black smoke, and they don't see anybody else there, but they do see Rousseau.
Danielle says she heard them whispering in the jungle that they were going to take the boy. Yes, they were going to take the boy not Aaron. Jack has a discussion with Kate about making sure that Kate is on his side, because if they survive the night, they are going to have a luck problem. And therein lies season 2.
Back out with our raft people, they use the equipment from the Beechcraft. And luckily, if you don't know what's going to happen, and not so luckily, if you know what's going to happen, they pick up something on the radar. And the light flashes on, and we see that it's a boat, and you get so hopeful. And I thought, yeah, okay, these people are rescued, and the whole next season will be them trying to get back to the island, and something will be, you know, the conflict in that way.
If you're a Lost fan, you know that the producers in the season finale write one scene that is like top secret. It's kind of the game changer in the episode. And then the first season, the scene was called The Bagel. And the bagel was the scene where Walt gets taken from the raft onto by the others. MC Gainey's Mr. Friendly, Tom Friendly. The first time we meet him, he rides up in a little dinghy. Sawyer ends up getting himself shot, and the boat gets blown up, and we leave season 1 with Jin and Michael and Sawyer in the water, adrift, if you will.
As this is the first Lost season finale, we quickly learn that they like to switch it around and completely dash our hopes and confuse the heck out of us. Really quickly, let's talk about the last part of the flashback. I think this is one of the most poetically beautiful scenes on Lost. It's all of the passengers taking their seats, and no words are spoken. It's just that beautiful life and death theme by Michael G. I'm bad at pronouncing his name. That great knowledge that we know what these people are going to go through together. We know the kind of relationships that they're going to form, and they're completely oblivious. Dramatic irony, I think, is the phrase. Okay, now we come to the end. The hatch door is blown open.
Jack and Locke lean over the edge. And then I cry a little bit because I have to wait all summer.
So angry. You have to wait all summer to find out what's in the hatch. This is when waiting for a new episode of Lost for 3 months seemed like a very long time.
In retrospect, season 2 is kind of interesting. I mean, I don't know. Maybe rewatching it will be a good thing. Maybe we'll see something we missed and it'll make more sense and it'll be more interesting and we'll like it more. Lesley, I'm optimistic.
Liz is going to be back here tomorrow talking about the season 2 premiere, Man of Science, Man of Faith.
We're gonna need to watch that again.
Once again, I cannot talk.
This is the 2 hour part of the 2...
Polar Bear, this is going to be a disaster.